This is a movie about a new FBI investigator who joins the force right when a vicious serial killer with a thematic pattern is going rampant. Alongside her more experienced black partner, who initially doubts her capabilities, but soon finds she has a knack to unveil the riddles this lunatic leaves behind, they work together to solve this bloody case. No, I'm not reviewing the movie 7 today. This video is about Longlegs. I've started to hear everyone online praising this movie, some even going as far as to call it a new Silence of the Lambs, with how horrifying and intense it was. All that talk got me to check out this movie, but right before watching, I decided to take a look at its IMDb score and was surprised to see a score of 6.9. That to me sounded like an okay movie that could have been good, and it honestly sounded more in line with your usual Nick Cage movie. So, after watching it, what's my opinion on it? That my impression of a 6.9 score was pretty spot on. This movie has a splendid atmosphere and soundtrack that gets you instantly hooked in an otherwise mid-story. The screeches and high-pitched piano notes are a bit overused, but it honestly worked for me since the story floats around such a stoic lead. The camera work, the lighting, even the decision to hide Cage's face for half the movie, despite giving him a glow-up from his usual tormenting wide-eyed face, was phenomenal. Sadly, it all fell apart for me right at the finish line, right about when our favorite over-the-top actor commits and the plot starts mixing hypnosis with satanic voodoo BS to lead into a finale that just left me upset.
Is it scary being a lady FBI agent? Yeah.
First off, I just want to get back to the fact that Lee is such a stoic character. First you find it weird, but quickly you'll realize something's off with her. Most likely some kind of trauma from the past. But is that it? Because it turns out that she was visited by Mr. Thicklegs on her 9th birthday, and later we learn her mother made a deal with him to leave her daughter alone. So, not only Lee forgot her encounter with the Ghost Rider, she was never harmed by him in the first place to begin with. So then I ask, why is Lee such a stoic character? It makes sense her mother's like that. Even more so after we learn how much she ends up helping Longlegs, but Lee has no reason to be like that. On a story about a killer who targets families with young daughters whose birthdays are on the 14th day of any given month, Lee is quickly forced to meet her partner's family household. Back to Longlegs. Despite her incredible disinterest for everything around her, Agent Carter's little daughter quickly grows to like her and invites her to her upcoming birthday. I don't think the movie does a good job at portraying her birthday, or rather, at hiding the fact she's going to be a target. Even when her father clearly knows the pattern that connects the victims, he doesn't connect the dots to her daughter being the missing date, and we can't do it because we're not told when exactly she's celebrating. But despite all those flaws, the movie still had me interested, because again, the cinematography was excellent. There's this shot of Lee waking up on Longlegs' basement, where the camera is hovering above her. She steps out of the bed and walks across the long room as the camera just spins around to follow her, showing her upside down in the shot. It's a creative shot among other great execution ideas that blinded me from seeing the flaws the story had in the moment. Once she goes to her mother for answers on her forgotten encounter with Thunderclap Thighs, it's when it's finally revealed Mrs. Not Sauce at all has been working with Longlegs this whole time, and after confronting her mother, Mommy McGee shoots the one doll that was haunting her daughter, making black smoke come out from both the dolls and Lee's head. Oh yeah. So the reason Longlegs wouldn't leave any print or proof in the crime scenes is because he'd build haunted dolls Mommy Harker would then offer to the victims as an offering from the church, and that would hypnotize the fathers into killing the family. Why did Harker had a doll of her own despite the deal being in place? Why didn't her mother destroy the doll before? And why did they hint that his methods are both hypnosis and satanic magic without sticking to just one element? So after waking up from a blackout and realizing Agent Carter's daughter is the final victim, Lee rushes to their house to find the saddest birthday party ever, where balloons and decorations are in place for a party where just 2 guests are attending, her and her mom. With the doll already unveiled, it's obvious her FBI partner and his family are not themselves anymore. So Carter takes his wife to the kitchen where we hear a brutal murder go on. When he returns, Lee has no other option but to shoot him down. Mommy Dear doesn't like it, so she switches from scared, protective mother to vicious killer, and Lee quickly shoots her own blood down. With the whole house dead apart from the child, Lee finally remembers the obvious. Shooting the doll's head will put an end to this. But she has no bullets left in her gun, and so the movie ends with the iconic Nicolas Cage hysterical laugh, celebrating his win beyond the grave.
Hail Satan.
Ultimately, this is a pretty good movie ruined by an indecision on how to wrap the story cohesively, which leads to too many plot holes and contradictions. I still recommend watching it for everything else as a nice Friday night flick. See ya.